Wherever you find yourself, right, and you want to teach in Japan or you want to teach in Asia, right, most of the times you are going to do it online. And so today's video is about how to not get scammed into these teaching jobs that you'll find online in Japan or in Asia. Okay, so I'm going to tell you 5 tips or 5 ways on how to protect yourself and not get scammed. Okay, if this is something valuable for you, please go ahead and click like, and also please subscribe to the channel so that we can continue growing. Okay, let's get to it. So guys, on today's video, I really want to talk about how to spot fake companies, or like how to spot fake scams and when you are looking for work abroad, right? First thing is that when you are looking to immigrate to another country, it's important to be clued up, right? So when you're looking to immigrate to another country, it's very important to do your research. Please do your due diligence, right? And a lot of people are susceptible to scams that prey on unknowledgeable people, or people that don't have a lot of information, or people that don't know the right questions to ask, right? And so they just like clickbait, or they just get lured in, and then they find themselves in a very sticky position once they have moved abroad, or once they have come to Japan, or once they have come to these Asian countries, right? Okay, so number one thing, that let's differentiate between direct hire versus dispatch company. So when a lot of people are wanting to come teach abroad or wanting to come teach in Japan, there's 2 ways, right? The first way is direct hire versus dispatch company. Direct hire means that you are directly hired by the Board of Education in the city or in the province that you're going to work in, right? And maybe, for example, the Tokyo Board of Education. The dispatch company is a private, independent company that acts as a recruiter, that acts as a quarantine. Okay, so we have the difference between direct hire versus dispatch company. Dispatch is a private company that acts as a recruiter, versus direct hire is when you are hired directly by the Board of Education in that specific province or that specific city. Okay, so the second thing that I want to talk about is a popular direct hire way is through the JET program, right? But I know that sometimes the JET program takes a long time, and the JET program sometimes people don't get into it, and obviously you need a job. So what you're going to do, you are probably going to go the dispatch company route, and we all know these companies, right? But I will tell you things to look for, or how to just not get yourself into trouble, or just how to put yourself in the best position as possible, so that these companies do not take you for granted. So here's what to look out for. If your agency / private company says to come to Japan, and they want you to come to Japan on a tourist visa, this is a red flag. So if your dispatch company says that, no, it's fine, please come, and please come, we'll give you a tourist visa, and then once you come here, we can fix your visa into working. No, don't do it. This is a red flag. Why? Because you don't want to find yourself in a very pinchy situation once you are here and your tourist visa is up, right? Because the tourist visa is 90 days, right? So after those 90 days, you are still running around trying to get settled, trying to get fixed, trying to get things done. The last thing you should worry about is whether your visa allows you to stay in the country or not, right? And most of the times, these companies that do this are taking you for granted, and they probably will not even switch your visa, which means after the 90 days, you will be in the country illegally, and that is just a mess. So if your dispatch company offers you a tourist visa, this is a red flag. Do not do it. The second thing to look out for, obviously, is if you contact someone online looking for a job. Obviously, this goes without saying, if they say you must pay them, this is a no-no, red flag. You don't pay anyone so that they can find you a job, especially in Japan, especially in China, especially in Asia. These teaching jobs, do not pay anyone to find you a job. Okay, that's settled. Do not do that. Don't pay anybody to do anything for you. Okay. The next thing to look out for to avoid being scammed is, so when you are discussing your contract, or while you are still kind of applying to this company, look for working hours, right? So if the working hours are under the standard to become a permanent worker, right? So I think that's and your contract. So normally a company should pay your taxes, even if it's direct hire, even if it's dispatch company. They should file your taxes. You are not supposed to do the taxes yourself if you are in a teaching job. They should do your taxes for you. But one thing that these companies do to scam people and to make themselves more money is that they will make you work a certain amount of hours. So they will cap the amount of hours that you work so that they are not eligible to pay your taxes. What that means is that you are now supposed to pay your own taxes, all right? Your own taxes and your own insurance every single month. What this does is it significantly lowers the amount of money that you have to spend every single month on your rent, on your living expenses, right? So let me just explain this properly as well so that you can understand. So a company should pay your taxes every single month, right? But sometimes these companies, to avoid paying taxes, they make you work a certain amount of hours, like it's capped, so that they are not eligible to pay your taxes for you, right? For example, if your starting salary is 250,000 yen, the company is going to take their cut, obviously. So if they take their cut, they'll probably take 30,000 yen and then they give you 220,000 yen as your salary. But remember, they did not pay your taxes, they didn't pay your national health insurance, right? Which means that you have to then figure everything out. You have to pay your taxes yourself? No, because they're expensive. That means it cuts your, now you have 220 to work with, right? It means it cuts your salary significantly. You have to pay your national health insurance yourself, another cut. You have to pay rent, another cut. You have to buy groceries, another cut. You have to pay your transport, another cut. You are left with nothing. It makes your life so miserable and you cannot survive. There are so many people in Japan who complain that they are living not below the poverty line, but they are very close because the dispatch companies are doing them very, very dirty. So please, guys, please do not be one of those people, because it's very, very heartbreaking to hear these things, right? When these companies take advantage of these people, they take their cut and they leave them with nothing, and they leave them to fend for themselves in terms of paying taxes, which are very, very expensive. Okay, so just please look out for that. Okay, another thing to look out for with these companies to not be scammed and not put yourself in a very, very bad position is during your interview, right? So usually they will conduct online interviews. They're trying to get your feel, and they're trying to, okay, if something in your intuition says feels wrong, please trust your gut. Okay, so there are sometimes people who conduct these interviews, and these recruiters and these hiring managers ask them very like weird, silly, inappropriate questions. Those are the kind of environment and management style that you're going to be into, right? So if you conduct your interviews and you can feel the energy is off, please do not do it. No matter how desperate you are, do not do it, because a lot of people get sucked into this because they need the job, and then when they do the interviews, they ignore these red flags, they ignore the people that are managing them, and then once they are here in the workplace, things are so bad. It really affects their mental health and their health, and they just really literally become depressed. We hear these stories every single time on these Facebook groups, guys. So please, if something feels amiss during your interviews, please trust your intuition. To look out for, or another thing to do to not get scammed, and just literally how to not get scammed, is please read reviews. If a company's website on the Google reviews, if it has like 3 reviews, I mean, why does it have 3 reviews? There are millions, thousands of ALTs in Japan, and why does a company only have 3 reviews? Then that means that they're not legitimate, or they're underground, or they are. So when you read the Google reviews, please trust what the reviews are saying as well. Especially go to Reddit Japan. So this is REDDIT Japan/ALT jobs, and people write all of their articles, people write all of their reviews, people literally like pour into their feelings, and they write about their day-to-day lives and which companies are good, and if they recommend companies for other foreigners as well. So Reddit Japan is a good resource to go to while you are still conducting your research and still looking for which company you want to accept an offer from, or which company you want to apply to. Okay, so please, I will recommend that you use platforms like Reddit Japan. Please use platforms like gaijinpot.com to look for jobs. Please use platforms like Jobs in Japan. And also guys, if you can reach out to people on Facebook, reach out to people on Instagram, reach out to them of their experiences, ask them what they think of a certain company. So for example, I received an email for another girl. She was using a dispatch company, and she was like, have you heard of this company? And I had not heard of it. I really hadn't heard of it, but it has an address, it has a website, but I hadn't heard of it. So I was like, let's do more research so that you don't find yourself in a very, very sticky position. Like for example, let's say you interview everything and then everything goes well. Once you come to Japan, they say that their offices are in Chiba or their offices are in Osaka. When you go to the address, it's a cafe. Get hair salon. Another thing that I wanted to say to look out for in your interviews is that if these companies cannot answer your questions, okay, so obviously you should ask questions, and if they cannot answer your questions, if they want to tell the truth, or if there's no transparency about how they run things, if there's no transparency about your contract, if there's no transparency about like things that are going to affect your livelihood and your money, don't do it, don't pursue them. For example, guys, vacation days are very, very important, right, in Japan. Please ask about how your salary will be affected. If these companies and during these interviews, if they cannot answer these types of questions, then you know that something's a little fishy, because they want to keep your money from you. For example, in the Japanese school system, they have a lot of vacation days, right? So for example, the months of August, it's summer vacation, and the students have a summer vacation for the whole month, which means that if you're using a dispatch company, you will not be working for the whole month. So now these dispatch companies sometimes will want to not pay you for the whole month. Now imagine you don't get a salary for the whole of August. How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to pay your rent, transport? How are you going to do groceries? How are you going to live? And so there are many people who find themselves in this predicament. And we see them all the time on Facebook writing that they literally cannot make it through the month because they're so throttled, because their dispatch companies did them so dirty and did not pay them for the month of August, because they simply didn't ask, or they simply didn't tell them that, hey, listen, by the way, we're not going to pay you for the days that you don't work. But what are you supposed to do when in August there's a whole month of not working, right? And also sometimes they have like a whole week. So like in May, there's Golden Week. In May, there's like a whole maybe 7 or 8 days of not working, because it's holidays after holidays after holidays. And so some companies will take advantage of the fact that if you're not working, that means no pay. And so you have to really mitigate around that fact. So there's also that. And then there's another thing of, okay, fine, if I'm not going to be able to be paid if I don't work, then can I have another maybe job, for example? So you need to be able to ask those questions. You need to know if your contract allows you to have extra work, extra legal work as well. So some companies really want to take advantage of people. They don't want to tell them these things. They don't want to tell them that in Japan, sometimes there's summer vacation, there's winter vacation, and you will not be paid for it. So heads up, right? So these are types of things that please look out for, so that you don't find yourself in a very, very dire situation where you literally cannot afford to live because these companies took advantage and did not tell you this information. Okay, guys. So finally, like I said, the more you know, the more information you have, the better decisions you can make for your life, the better decisions you can make going forward, guys. And if you found this video helpful, if you found this video valuable, if you got some little bit of insights, little bit of how to what to look out for, how to conduct your interviews, please give this channel a subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share it with your friends as well, because I would love us to grow, and I would love for us to reach more people and help more people as well. Like I said, I would love to provide value on my channel, and if that's what this video did for you, please subscribe and please like. See you soon in the next video. Please take care of yourselves and let's have a chat. What do you think? Please ask me any questions down in the comments, and see you next time. Thank you.